So first, what you're gonna want your limestone down and have your grit powder in there and a bucket of water and your tool that you're gonna use to sand down the grit onto the stone. Make sure your stone is wet. Make sure to be careful so you don't break the stone. Make sure the tool is also wet. You don't want it to be dry. You're gonna go ahead and put the powder on there. First, we're gonna go to do the 100, the 120, and the 220. When doing that, we're gonna go ahead and just grind the stone. Make sure to get the corners and the center so it could be an even surface. A way to tell when to switch out the grit is when a little bit muddy and it's just hard to move your tool. When that happens, go ahead and put the tool to the side, put water and wash it off, and you're going to repeat that with the other grits. And make sure to do it 3 times for each one. Put water and wash it off, and you're going to repeat that with the other grits. And make sure to do it 3 times for each one. And just that. When you get your paintbrush, you're going to go ahead and put it on the gum Arabic, and you're going to put it on the borders of your stone. And what that does is makes a natural border for your stone, and the center is where you're going to do your drawing. To do your drawing, make sure you don't touch the middle part of the stone, because if you do, your fingerprints, your handprints, anything, because it will stain the stone. So you want to avoid that. Once dry, you're going to want to start drawing onto your stone. And right here in the video, I put a quick time lapse of the drawing that I'm doing. Once you have your drawing done, make sure to have a brush and some rosin. And what we're going to do is sprinkle some rosin on top of the stone onto the drawing. And we're going to use the paintbrush to move the rosin around the whole drawing. So it's going to make the drawing look brown, and that's perfectly normal. And once the whole drawing is covered in this powder, we're going to go ahead and just wipe it off, and we're going to do the same thing with this other powder called towel. So we're going to do the same thing, just put it onto the stone and brush it all over. Next thing is that we're going to go ahead and put a mixture onto the stone. It is very acidic. So for that, we're going to go ahead and just wear gloves and get another paintbrush. And what we're going to do is, first, we're going to put it onto the borders. Once the borders are done, we're going to go ahead and go onto the drawing. Make sure you go darkest first to lightest. And then you're just going to put it all over the whole stone. Once you have that, you're going to go ahead and get a piece of cheesecloth. and wipe it all away from the stone. Once it's done, make sure to leave it overnight for 10 hours at the most, so it could be etched onto your stone. Next thing is that we're gonna get some grab some lithium, and for that we're gonna get a rag and put some onto there. And what we're gonna do is put it onto the stone where the drawing is. And once you put it onto the stone and you're just rubbing it all over the drawing, it's gonna look scary because the drawing is gonna disappear, but that's normal. Once it's all gone, we're gonna go ahead and grab some. Next thing we're gonna do, we're gonna put asphaltum onto a rag, and what we're gonna do is put it onto the stone. Make sure to have a sponge to clean it off while you're putting the asphaltum. You want the stone to be wet, and when we have that, you're ready to ink and to print.